What's going on, Earthlings and Earth dwellers? My name is Kenneth Shearer, and I love biochar. And I also really love inoculating biochar. Through the years, since 2017, I have been raising insects. Now, discovering that whole cycle of insect life, from egg to larvae to pupa to beetle, because I raise beetles, I raise arthropods, has come with quite a bit of knowledge and expansion. And in 2019, I was introduced to biochar from a man in New York who ran a preschool, who had told me that it's very important we create this carbon material because we were going to create a garden, or like a miniature farm, for students at a preschool, because we wanted to enrich children with the knowledge of generating wholesome food and skills that would last them a lifetime, that would give them what they needed. So fast forward to 2026, I am now creating my own biochar with a apparatus called the Ring of Fire, created by Kelpie Wilson, that has enabled hundreds of people all across the United States to generate 3 to 4 yards at a time. And that is absolutely amazing. So, but that's just the beginning, right? Creating this carbon, it's great and all, but it requires a bit of knowledge. So through this synergistic methods and learning about Korean natural farming, I started experimenting with anaerobic fermenting of bug poop, arthropod bug crap. And it has taken me down this incredible road, because Korean natural farming is probably the cheapest way, the easiest way to understand how we can harness the biology that's floating all around us. And many have taken to it. Many people have realized the simplicity of generating microbiology by brewing them with carbohydrates in an anaerobic environment. So where does this all go? Where does this take us? Well, for 5 years, I've been vetting plants and materials, especially my bug poop, on how to create this and expand this into an anaerobic environment by using deacetylation, fermentation, breaking things down. I'm not going to go too scientific with the terms because it's pretty simple. Think about sourdough and whatnot. There's microbes in there that are beneficial for our gut health. Same thing works with the soil. The soil is, I hate to say it, but it's mostly anaerobic, unless you have roots and permeability. So how do we condition soil to operate like a gut, like a good old gut? Well, we've discovered simplistic ways to generate, people know them as EM, effective microorganisms. They call them EM solutions. People know of EM1, EM2, EM3, EM4. If you're a Korean natural farmer, you know what EM is all about, because it's the base, it's the foundation of creating really solid, healthy soil that expresses its nutrients, that's unlocked in its full potential, because soil has everything it needs. It just might be locked up, right? It might not be available, but it's all there. And I've discovered that anaerobic bacteria, fluctuative anaerobes, do a great job of that. But it's not all about anaerobes, because it's a mixture. It's an equilibrium, right? It's something that nature finds balance in everything. So what do? I've been experimenting with biochar now for 5 years. Actually, now going on to 6 years, 2026. 2020 was really the year of discovery and experimenting, and it was COVID, and things were chaotic, and people were moving and getting sick and losing jobs and all this stuff and finding their place in the world. So it happens I did find my place in the world, which has been bugs and biochar. So what did we do? We figured out how to enrich this stuff. We know how to do this. I've been able to create a pH biochar, because most biochar is alkaline. Remember this, when we make this biochar stuff, it's got a heavy alkaline. It could be up to 9, 10, 11, 12, depending on how good you are at making this stuff, how much ash you're producing, temperatures you're getting at, types of feedstocks, the way the wood is being put into the kiln. All of this matters into the end product, the quality of your carbon. And that's what we've discovered through the years, through 5 years of generating carbon and training others and making mistakes and all kinds of stories that can be told about fire and making this stuff. I'm in an orchard right now, as you can see. We're going to transform this orchard into this stuff to build up our future soils. But this is raw. This is a raw material, right? It requires treatment. It must be adjusted. Thankfully, nature supplies us with abundance of acids. And if you know how to make them, you know how to lower a pH solution. Think of kombucha, right? Think about apple cider vinegars, things like that. We're adding hydrogen to liquid to increase the pH, or to lower the pH. Because this is an oxidized material. Biochar is an oxidized material. Somewhat. Not fully oxidized, of course. We've snuffed out that. We create an anaerobic environment within the kiln, or within the whatever apparatus you're choosing, like a Jolly Roger. My focus is basically on-site biochar, or biochar on-site. There's a group that's trying really hard to link those who are in the craft, who understand that we need small solutions to handle the big problems, because there's big problems with big solutions, but we see it as a micro scale. Small things add up into the bigger picture. Now, I do not represent biochar on site. However, I've been a part of the group for many years, since I met Kelpie in 2020, all those years ago. Now, I want to say that I have committed my life to figuring out how to condition this stuff. Here is a fully conditioned version of this charcoal. This has been, I actually found this yesterday at a farm I worked at for several years, and I had forgotten about this, and I'm glad I had found it, because this is fully conditioned charcoal. This actually has been sitting in a liquid, and it totally soaked it up. Smells so good. It smells just like soil. It smells just like really good compost. It's velvety. It's no longer raw and glassy. And how did we do this? Well, quite simply, we brewed microbes. We got a plant. We have a tree that we utilize. We generate lactobacillus for pennies on the dollar. Pennies, I say. And then we brew that with the insect frass. This is a man, Tim Harden. He had been working with me to bump up the ability of this liquid to really shine through with biochar, to generate molds and successional yeasts. And then, bam, we add in AMF, and we add cultures from the earth, from underneath roots, such as the oaks and forest. We go out there and harness these things. We harness nature's best, and we multiply it, because that's what nature does. It multiplies. And that's what we've done in this biochar. We are using this as a holding mechanism to get this into the soil. And these pH, we have these fully tested. We've been able to bring biochar back down to 7.2. And if we want to bring it down further, we can redo a ferment and get that down even more, because of what we're using are acids. We're using very low pH liquids to condition this biochar, because that's our raw material. That's a raw material. pH, I would say that's probably 10 or 11. And also, this is a orchard, and they had been spraying this wood for years with pesticides. So there might be dioxins and furans in here. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Furans. However, this is the challenges we face in this world today, because we have a bunch of people spraying chemicals that can kill you. And guess what? It's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay because we know how to deal with this. Microbiology can remediate that. Microbiology can consume those and replace them and make them into different compounds that can break down further and not cause issues. We can lock them up in this carbon. We can lock them up. This is probably very clean. I need to get this tested. I am just assuming. I do not know. However, it's conditioned. It feels good. It smells good. And there's bugs living on it now. There's ants in it. They want to eat it. They're not dying. They're not suffering. I don't see them passing out and dying. Beautiful. So all I'm saying is I've committed my life to brewing biology, to brewing this stuff for love and life and all the things in the earth, because we need to spread the biology. We need to increase the biology. Oh, it smells so good. So if you're interested in learning more, because I've been doing this for 5 years, and I feel that there is a lot to learn, and there's more of us out there. There's tons of people out there who are doing this, who are not getting recognized. And I'm here to say, let's get recognized for what we're doing and what we're committing our lives to better society, to better the ground, better biology. Because we're microbial farmers. That's what we do. We multiply. We don't divide. Amen. So if this reaches you, if you hear me out, check out K Organics. I'm redesigning the website. I'm redesigning. Today is what? Today's February 3rd or 4th. Today's February 4th, 2026. I'm working with a man. We're trying to get this website going. I don't know if he's going to join or answer the call. I don't know. I've been asking. I've been knocking on his door. So if not, I can do it alone. I've been doing this alone. I'm sick of doing things alone. I'm sick of that. I want to work as a team. Just like how microbes work in the soil, synergistically and symbiotically, syntropically. These are all just big words for what? Coming together. Let's all come together and brew. We have this LM42 from Chai Co. K Organics and Chai Microbes. We have linked up our brains, our abilities, what we know, and fermenting things with molasses, adding molasses to brew these brews, taking the leaves from trees and multiplying what they have to give us in abundance. So if you want to learn how to make lactobacillus serums for pennies on a dollar, this is sitting in a barrel for 2 years and it's still powerful. It's still working. All you gotta do is add a little molasses. I didn't feed it for a whole year, those microbes, and they're fine. I just looked at this under a microscope. Look, when I shake it up, you should see action. Bam. It's almost gonna explode. It's active, it's alive. And I didn't have to touch it for a whole year. So if you want to brew powerful microbes that you can ignore and go back and use a year later, by all means, reach out. If you want to use this into your biochar, you want to condition your biochar to not be so alkaline, for pennies on the dollar, tons, I can treat that pile for $5. Yep. But it's what do we value our time? What do we value our time with? We just do it in here. These IBC totes. That's all you need. Because when we run anaerobic, you don't need many tools to do this. So anaerobic bacteria is our friend with biochar. So the most ancient microbes on Earth are anaerobic. The first life forms were anaerobic. So if you want to work with Archaeans, the ancients, study anaerobes. They're your best friends, especially with biochar. They work amazingly together. So if you have questions or concerns, you want to learn how to do this, you want to enrich thousands of yards of biochar at a time, by all means, we're here to help you. Take care, give care, and be careful.